Okay, let's talk about something that sounds completely crazy. We're going to dive into a paradox that traps some of the world's highest earners. People who look unbelievably successful on paper, but are secretly drowning financially.
I mean, that sounds impossible, right? How could you make that much money and have nothing to show for it? Well, it's a shockingly, terrifyingly common reality for so many high-income professionals. It's like living in a financial prison with invisible walls.
You know, you can really boil your whole financial life down to this one simple picture. The green line is what you make. The red line is what you spend. Your actual wealth, that's just the gap between them. For the people we're talking about, that red line chases the green one so closely, it's like they're magnetized, just wiping out any chance to build real wealth. So let's crack this thing open. We're going to use doctors as our main example because they are the perfect case study. But remember, this trap snaps shut on engineers, lawyers, entrepreneurs, anyone with a high salary. In fact, sometimes a bigger paycheck just helps you dig a deeper hole faster.
And if you want proof, look at this. The data is absolutely staggering. After earning millions upon millions of dollars over an entire career, 1 out of every 4 physicians, 1 in 4, still has a net worth of less than $1 million. They've churned through a fortune and have almost nothing to show for it.
So you have to be asking, right? Where on earth does it all go? Well, to figure that out, we have to rewind. We have to look at where their financial journey actually begins, because the problem starts way before that first big paycheck ever hits their bank account.
See, this isn't just a spreadsheet problem. It's a psychology problem. It's about what's going on in your head. So let's look at the actual starting line for a typical high earner.
They're not starting the race at zero. Oh no, they are starting deep in a hole. While their friends were getting jobs and starting to invest in their 20s, they were racking up massive debt. They effectively lost the single most powerful decade for building wealth, the decade of compound interest. Now just imagine this for a second. You've spent 10 years of your life in a library, eating cafeteria food, missing weddings, missing vacations, just grinding. Then finally, that first giant paycheck lands. A psychological dam just breaks inside you. It's not greed. It's this overwhelming feeling that you have earned this, that you are owed the good life. And that right there is the core emotional trap. That feeling is what glues the red spending line to the green income line. But you know what? Beyond the emotions, there are some even more destructive, real-world problems that lock this behavior in place.
The real, lasting financial damage, it doesn't come from buying a fancy coffee every day. No way. It comes from 3 specific, huge decisions that basically create a prison of high fixed costs that you can almost never escape.
We're talking about the house, the car, and the kids' schooling. For high earners, these aren't just things you buy, they're badges of rank. There is this immense social pressure to get the doctor house in the right neighborhood, drive the right car, and send your kids to the right private school. It's all about signaling your status to your peers.
And this is where it gets crazy. Look at how quickly a massive income just evaporates. You take home 18 grand a month, which is a ton of money, but then 3 grand for student loans, 6 grand for the mortgage, 1,500 for the cars, 4 grand for private school, and boom, almost 80% of your money is gone before you've even bought a gallon of milk. This is exactly how you end up living paycheck to paycheck on $300,000 a year.
So let's make this really clear. Let's tell a story of 2 doctors. We'll call them Dr. A and Dr. B. They have the exact same salary, work at the same hospital, but they end up in completely different financial universes.
So Dr. A thinks, I've earned it, and lets his red spending line shoot right up to meet his green income line. But Dr. B, she does something different. She decides, okay, I'm going to double my old lifestyle, which feels like a huge upgrade, but then she caps it right there. She intentionally creates this massive wedge between what she earns and what she spends.
And here's the crucial point. After a decade, Dr. A is still completely trapped. His net worth is basically flat because his expenses are so high. But Dr. B, her net worth has gone parabolic. It's shooting upwards like a rocket. So you see, wealth isn't about how high your income is. It's all about how wide you can make that wedge between your income and your spending.
Okay, so that's the trap. But the good news is it's entirely escapable. There is a clear, actionable game plan to break the cycle, become Dr. B, and literally buy your own freedom back.
And listen, this has nothing to do with willpower, because willpower fails everybody. This is about building a system.
First, when you get a raise, you create a lifestyle lag. You wait a year before you upgrade anything. Second, you automate your savings. You send that wedge money straight to investments before you can even touch it. And finally, you totally change how you think about price.
This is the magic of freedom units. You stop seeing a fancy car as just a price tag. You start seeing it as, let's see, 2 months of extra on-call shifts, 60 days of your one and only life that you have to trade away from your family. When you frame it like that, is it still worth it? For most people, the desire just vanishes.
Because this is the real goal of the entire game. It's not about dying on a giant pile of cash. It's about reaching this crossover point as fast as you possibly can. This is the moment your money makes enough money to cover your lifestyle. This is the finish line. This is true financial freedom.
So what's the big takeaway here? The real prize for all that sacrifice and hard work isn't some status symbol you can park in your driveway. It's autonomy. It's the ability to say no, the freedom to practice your job on your own terms, the power to completely separate your survival from your paycheck. That is the only luxury worth buying.